Alright, so the first sniff test, it smells pretty fantastic. I like it. These new bags for coffee, I kind of like it. Oh look, B Corp on the side there, that's good. But the new bags, I got a love-hate relationship. I love that it's easy to close once again with the whole Ziploc instead of the bendy over things. Look at these beans. That's looking a little dark to me. A little concerned it's not going to be a good quality cup. Anyways, back to these bags. It's a little bit difficult to pour it into something, in my opinion. I mean, it's not the hardest by far, but anyways, not my fave. And this scale, it's waterproof. That's one of the things I really looked for in a scale. But yeah, look at that pour. It just feels awkward. It doesn't seem right. And I try and always make cups 22 grams so that when I pour the water on it, I'll aim for like 357. And that's a 1:16 ratio, which is supposed to be the best for making a cup of coffee anyways. This mug is actually one of my favorite mugs. We got it at a party actually as a gift, and it was from World Market. I should probably go there and see if they still have them. And this pour over is actually a Chantel, it's called, and they sell it at Target. It's very inexpensive, and picked it up one time when we were on vacation and I didn't have stuff to make a pour over, so it actually makes really good coffee and fits normal filters that you can find pretty much everywhere. I do miss my V60 pour over, but this actually makes just as good a cup in my opinion. And it's just hard to find the right cone filters to get into a V60 because you really want to make sure this cone filter sits all the way down in the bottom. And if you use this inside a V60, there's no way that's going to happen. So another thing, always pre-soak your filters. Don't know if you've ever seen the show before, but that's something I say every time. And also, I got the natural brown ones. I didn't want to grab the bleached ones because there's a chance that some of that bleach chemical is still going to be in the filter, and then it'll go into your body and deplete your probiotics or your natural intestinal flora. So definitely not something to go for in my opinion. But of course, you do you. So I actually preheated my mug here as well, because if you're a slow coffee drinker and you like to savor every taste, then keeping the mug warm and preheating it can be very effective tool for, especially if you live in a colder climate and it's wintertime right now. But right now it's summertime and I don't always preheat it, just depending on how I'm feeling, like if I'm going to just slam that whole cup or not. And today, feeling like I need it warmer than usual, so that's what we went with. All right, look at that, 23. That works. Was aiming for 22, but my scale might be a little off. I think it's a little bit off. The more, oh, good thing I zeroed it out. The more the battery is dying, it may be a little off. That's why I also measured it out in that little white cup there to begin with. So as I'm brewing, it's got lots of nice bubbles there. It's active, it's blooming, it's rising, and you're activating those grains when you do this. The born on date for this bag of coffee is the 19th. Today's the 23rd. So it's actually working out very well. And it took a minute before I saw those rainbow oils starting to reveal in that, and when I wetted it, but it definitely did work. I recently reviewed a couple of gooseneck kettles and compared them to one another, and this old traditional one is the one I prefer to stick with, because the other one was like a exact temperature, and for some reason it just will boil off the entire pot of water, so the other one sucked. But if you don't need it over 200 degrees, like just up to 199, then it would be a pretty good gooseneck to have. It's just for brewing coffee, you usually want a 200 to 205 temperature water, and I just couldn't get it there. So let's see, where is the Equator coffee on my trade bingo card? You can get a bingo, get a free coffee. That's pretty cool. It's like gamer coffee. Turn your coffee into a game. Yeah, anyways, got that done. A little bit of an over pour there, 365. But we'll have to see how it turns out. Let's let it brew that coffee, slowly going down. All right, it's good to keep that cup there to catch any extra drips right there. It's really dark. It's a very dark tasting coffee. And seriously, I don't taste anything special about it. And I don't think I like it. I'm going to keep letting it cool a little bit longer. Maybe I'll get a better taste for it after it cools a little bit. Maybe it's still a little bit on the too hot side. Alright, well, it's cooled down a little bit more. But it's just not magical, man. Too traditional. I think too dark. Really doesn't speak to me. I'm sure it'll probably make a really nice cold brew, and that's probably what I'll get on right away. Start grinding the whole thing up, make a cold brew. Well, I guess it's time to redeem with cream. See how that goes. Man, it just tastes like nothing different than 7-Eleven coffee, man. It's really sad. I guess the final verdict is, with cream, it's not bad. It's really not amazing coffee, and not something I'd spend specialty prices on, and I don't think anybody else should either, but maybe you like more traditional coffees. Overall, I mean, it's pretty decent when I added the cream, but I would prefer this to taste awesome when it's just black.